In 2026, 1 in 5 videos YouTube recommends to a brand new account is AI-generated slop. With tools like Artlist and Gemini OmniFlash, creating content is now easier than ever, which means I'm sure most of you have seen videos like these on your feed. AI-generated viral videos are exploding onto our social platforms like never before. Just last year, channels making exactly this content pulled 63 billion views and about $117 million. But the ease with which these videos are created is the exact reason channels like these are getting deleted. So before you see dollar signs and start generating AI slop like crazy, hear me out for a moment. In January, YouTube terminated 16 of those slop channels. Not demonetized, terminated. 4.7 billion lifetime views and 35 million subscribers erased. And the policy language behind it comes down to one word, which we'll get to, because that word quietly redrew the line for everyone making AI video right now. So this is not a video about how to farm slop, even though I just showed you it takes 60 seconds. It's about why that game is collapsing, and a few ways to actually dial some real creativity into these tools. Some take a hybrid approach with an editor. Some never leave a platform like Artlist at all. And the first one costs nothing and doesn't need software, period. Before I share the secret sauce, let's lead with honesty about the scale of this problem, because the numbers demand it. Capwing ranked the top-earning slop channels, and the top 10 alone pull a combined $33.5 million a year. Look at this list. A cartoon French bulldog in a mermaid outfit, almost $4 million a year. AI footballers, $3 million. Dragon Ball anime knockoffs uploaded from right here in the US, $2.5 million. When Capwing created a brand new YouTube account and tracked the first 500 videos the algorithm recommended, over half the feed was slop or brain rot. Run the math on my 60 seconds and the whole economy explains itself. At that pace, one person produces a month of content in an afternoon. The video doesn't need to be good. It needs to be just novel enough to stop a scroll for the most amount of people. For about 2 years, the algorithm paid out on exactly that. And then it stopped. July 2025. YouTube rewrote its monetization rules. Remember the word from the intro? Here it is. The old policy banned repetitious content. The new one bans inauthentic content. That's the word. Repetitious was describing the output, but inauthentic describes the process. The platform stopped judging what videos look like and started judging how they're made. A workflow with no human decisions in it is now the thing being policed. So if the lazy version is a dead end, let's talk about the ways to actually make something yours. I promised a few. Here's the one that's free. Here's the thing about the clip that I made at the start of this video, and it's the part of content farms they never think about. The reason this format went viral is only partly because it's AI. More importantly, it's a complete 3-act story in 10 seconds. Despair, the drought, the empty jug. Intervention, the hand, the water. Relief, the celebration. Setup, turn, payoff. That structure predates even cinema. The content farms find a story that works and photocopy it. But the structure is learnable and it's free. Before you ever open a program, the highest leverage work is deciding what actually happens in your 10 seconds. Who wants something? What's in the way? What changes? One-shot prompting skips that entirely, and it consistently shows. The prompt that made my 60-second clip? Built off of the exact formula others have created. While this step might sound trivial, and maybe even a bit annoying, I cannot overstate how important this step is. 5 minutes with a pen and a rough idea, and the story immediately becomes your own. That's the cheapest creative upgrade in this entire space, and it will continue to become more important the more we lean on AI. The second way is about what happens during and after generation. And the best documented case in AI video shows both the ceiling and the old cost. The Kalshi NBA Finals ad. About $2,000, 2 days, over 20 million impressions through social buzz alone. One filmmaker, PJ Akaturo, script first, shot-by-shot prompts, and 300 to 400 generations for 15 usable shots. 400 pulls of the lever, redescribing everything each time. That was the price of directing AI instead of gambling on it. And he's not alone anymore. Gorilla Glue launched their entire 2026 brand platform around an AI-generated character, a gorilla they call the Chief Tough Officer. And here's the thing, when you watch that ad, you might not even clock that it's AI. Whether something is traditional CG or generated is becoming genuinely difficult to tell, even for people with a trained eye. And for most viewers, that line is already gone. But what makes that campaign work has nothing to do with how real the gorilla looks. It works because the creative concept is tight. The gorilla's job is to test the product by smashing, tearing, and yanking it. The AI embodies the brand promise, instead of just showing off what the tool can do. Brands that are actually winning with these tools are building real creative systems around directed AI, not just clicking generate and crossing their fingers. The brute force part has collapsed. Gemini OmniFlash just hit early access on Artlist, and it keeps the scene when I give it notes. Same environment, same characters. The visual style is enforced turn by turn instead of re-rolling and hoping for the best. It handles physics-aware motion, so things like gravity and fluid dynamics just work, which really matters for a shot with pouring water. And every turn of conversation builds on the last, with character consistency holding across edits. You're directing a scene, not starting over. For context, none of this existed when the Kalshi ad was made a year ago. The constant regeneration required to get a single usable result is no longer an issue like it was back then. That's how fast this space is moving. And if you want to easily push a shot even further, Artlist has 6 apps to utilize with OmniFlash. Hyperzoom, 20 locations in 10 seconds, multi-angle scene, drone cam, focus shift, and add explosion. So from one scene, you can get a completely different element, camera perspective or setting, without regenerating from scratch. They're a ton of fun to use and are a great way to familiarize yourself with AI tools. A great part about this is that it all lives in the same tab. OmniFlash generates synced audio natively, locked to the timeline, so your clip comes out with sound built in. 30 seconds of curation, and the clip steps out of the uncanny valley, all without ever leaving the platform. If you never touch a traditional editor in your life, this way alone puts you ahead of most of what's on that feed. The third way is the one this very video is built on. Take what the platform generates and bring it into an editor. Type treatments, film grain, collage, cutting to rhythm. Everything you've been watching for the last several minutes, every graphic, every text treatment, is generated and real material composited by hand. That's the hybrid approach, and it's where control compounds. Because now, every frame passes through your taste twice. This way has a learning curve today, and it is absolutely not the entry fee. Ways 1 and 2 give you most of the distance with no editing software at all. But companies like Artlist are continuing to push into this space and are always adding new tools. Who knows, maybe a browser-based editor that's genuinely user-friendly is not far off. And the payoff for learning it is real. This is where you start building brand consistency and a recognizable voice. An audience is people who come back for you. Those AI trends are exactly that, trends. They will be forgotten and replaced in a week. A format anyone can replicate in 60 seconds is worth exactly what 500 copycats will sell it for. Nothing. The tools stopped being the moat the moment everyone got the same ones. What's left is what was scarce before any of this existed: judgment, taste, and a story that's actually yours. Whether you get there with a pen, inside one platform, or all the way through an editor, AI collapsed the cost of production. It did not compromise the value of your point of view. So whether you use generative AI or not, give it your own unique voice, because the things worth watching were never made in 60 seconds.